selling for fun and profits?
Buying.
Buying and selling for fun and profits.
I thought I was number 5.
Part 3. John?
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Toastmasters and guests. So we have a lot of guests tonight, but I've previously done a few speeches. I collect antique silver, and I go to first speech was about flea markets. I like to go to flea markets. And my second speech was eBay. You can buy things on eBay and make money sometimes. So the third leg of my stool for buying and selling for fun and profit is estate sales. So who knows what an estate sale is or has been to an estate sale? So a few of you. So maybe half of you know. And for the half that don't know, an estate sale, it's just basically a home that sells all their stuff. Generally, it's like if an older person dies, maybe your grandma or something like this who lived alone, or if it's a family that's moving somewhere and they just want to get rid of everything. So the thing about estate sales, just like eBay and a flea market, there's ways to work it. Some people do it for a living, but there's a way to do estate sales. And another thing about estate sales is anyone can go. You don't need a ticket, or you don't have to be an antiques dealer. Anyone can just go to an estate sale and buy things for fun and profit. Now, the best way to find out about estate sales, there's a website, you can write this down if you're interested. It's called estatesale.net. And this lists all the estate sales pretty much in the whole country, but basically you punch in your zip code within 10 or 20, 30, 40, 50 miles, and you get estate sales. So on a given, basically they're from Thursday through Sunday, and the biggest days are Friday and Saturday. But on a given Friday, there might be 50 estate sales within a half hour's drive. So the thing to think about estate sales, think of your own house, or maybe if you just have an apartment, think of your parents' house and all the stuff they have. Your mom might have shoes from the 50s or 60s, or dresses, jewelry. Your father might have tools. A lot of guys are into tools. And you also have to think about an estate sale where it's going to be. It could be in Highland Park or Lake Forest, where people are loaded, and they may not care. You know, a woman can have a $1,000 dress, and she'll sell it for $50. She doesn't care. But the thing about estate sales, some estate sales, they're run by just the family themselves, and then many are hired to sell professionally. And all this will be shown on estatesale.net if you're interested, and they also list pictures and this sort of thing. Now, another thing about estate sales and collectibles in general, like I said, some of you are new, but for those of you who have heard my wonderful speeches, I buy and sell sterling silver, which is 92% silver. Silver and gold in the last 10 years have been going up in value. So for me, if I look to find stuff and I try and resell it, I can get a good price because trend is up. But the fact is, especially since the recession of 2008 and our aging population, most collectible stuff in general has been going down. So a lot of stuff that your parents and grandparents have, like, who knows what a Yadro is, stuff like that. A Yadro is like a figurine. They were, you kind of, his Jewish mom had it probably. But Yadros were really, my mom had it, and they were really popular 10 years ago, and they're quite nice, but the fact is now they go for 10 cents on the dollar of what people paid for them 10 or 20 years from now. So the thing about going to an estate sale or buying, selling for fun and profit, on the one hand you could just be buying for your own pleasure, which is fine, but if you want to make money, you need to keep in mind many things have been going down in value. So you want to make sure you buy low for certain things. And the type of people that go to estate sales are the same people that go to flea markets or antique shops. I've many times run into antique dealers, and then you have young women who have resale shops. They'll go and look for Chanel handbags and all kinds of stuff. There's a guy I met who might collect Matchbox cars, God knows what. But the fact is, Ray-Ban sunglasses, or certain types of watches, all these types of things can be very valuable in an estate sale. Most people, they just know there's only so much even the smartest guy knows about what's in his house. So the fact is, you're always going to find stuff. Just my brother recently, we had a sale of our own, and we were selling stuff, and we had an old camera that my father had, and a neighbor came by who was interested. It was an old camera with a big lens, and my brother knows a little bit about musical instruments and technical things in general. But the neighbor was interested in the camera, and he was like, how much? But my brother's not dumb. He was like, well, I don't know, maybe I have to kind of check and see. He was thinking $50 or $100. And the neighbor said he would come back in a little while. My brother looked up the camera on eBay, special lens, it was worth like $1,000. Neighbor came back, sorry, it's not for sale. So these are the type of things that you'll find in an estate sale. Another thing is tools. Men will buy Craftsman tools for a few dollars, and the fact is, I think they still have it, Sears, you can return tools, Craftsman tools, forever. So you can buy a bunch of rusted tools that are worthless and return them, and make lots of money. Now, like I said in my eBay speech, some of this takes time, but the fact is, especially in this up and down economy, many of us may find ourselves without a job for a few months. Who knows when we're going to be laid off? And the fact is, you'll see many people that go to estate sales, they do it a hobby, or like I said, even for a living. And it's great to know that if you have to, you can make it on your own. That's what's great about this country. You can make a buck. It's pretty unregulated. Anyone can go do these things, and you can make money. Now, my previous speeches, people are like, sure, John, you buy stuff, but where do you sell it? So like I said, for gold and silver, jewelry. People buy jewelry at an estate sale, sometimes very valuable stuff. They get lucky. But where do you sell it? So for gold and silver, it has a set value. You can sell it locally. Other things, if you're going to find like a Chanel handbag or Yadros, these sorts of things, you can rent out a table, possibly at a flea market, but you might be above that. So there are other ways to sell. You can sell on eBay. You have to pay a slight commission. But if you buy something very cheaply, and certain Yadros can be valuable, so, or Ray-Ban sunglasses. So you can make money selling on eBay, if you know what you're doing. And then you can also sell on Craigslist, which is generally free. You can throw something up and get rid of your junk that way. So these are just a few things I've told you. Hopefully I haven't been too redundant. Some of you, I'm sure, are rolling your eyes because you know all about estate sales, some of the girls here. But it gives you something to think about if you ever want to buy and sell your fun. Thank you.